Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Physics. The transfer of energy between elementary particles or between an elementary particle in a field or between fields, mediated by gauge bosons. A mutual or reciprocal action, interacting. Physics. The transfer of energy between elementary particles or between an elementary particle in a field or between fields, mediated by gauge bosons. A natural phenomenon involving the physical properties of matter and energy. A military engagement. He saw action in Korea. A judicial proceeding brought by one party against another. One party prosecutes another for a wrong done or for protection of a right or for prevention of a wrong. The operating part that transmits power to a mechanism. The piano had a very stiff action. Institute legal proceedings against. File a suit against. She actioned the company for discrimination. Put in effect. He actioned the operation. The state of being active. He is out of action. A process existing in or produced by nature, rather than by the intent of human beings. The action of natural forces. An act by a government body or supranational organization. Recent federal action undermined the segregationist position. Something done, usually as opposed to something said. There were stories of murders and other unnatural actions. The most important or interesting work or activity in a specific area or field. The action is no longer in technology stocks but in municipal bonds. The series of events that form a plot. His novels always have a lot of action. The trait of being active and energetic and forceful. A man of action. Physics. An interaction between elementary particles involving neutrinos or antineutrinos that is responsible for certain kinds of radioactive decay, mediated by intermediate vector bosons. Physics. The interaction that binds protons and neutrons together in the nuclei of atoms, mediated by gluons. Physics. The interaction that binds protons and neutrons together in the nuclei of atoms, mediated by gluons. Physics. The interaction that binds protons and neutrons together in the nuclei of atoms, mediated by gluons. Physics. An interaction between elementary particles involving neutrinos or antineutrinos that is responsible for certain kinds of radioactive decay, mediated by intermediate vector bosons. An interaction between charged elementary particles that is intermediate in strength between the strong and weak interactions, mediated by photons. A weak interaction between particles that results from their mass, mediated by gravitons. Reverse. A direction, attitude, or course of action. Mutual interaction. The activity of reciprocating or exchanging, especially information. The act of changing one thing for another thing. There was an interchange of prisoners. Give to, and receive from, one another. Put in the place of another. Switch seemingly equivalent items. Synonyms can be interchanged without changing the context's meaning. Reciprocal transfer of equivalent sums of money, especially the currencies of different countries. He earns his living from the interchange of currency. Cause to change places. Interchange this screw for one of a smaller size. A junction of highways on different levels that permits traffic to move from one to another without crossing traffic streams. Mutual interaction. The activity of reciprocating or exchanging, especially information. alternating back and forth movement. The act of making or doing something in return. A person who is in a position to give you special assistance. He used his business contacts to get an introduction to the governor. The physical coming together of two or more things. Contact with the pier scraped paint from the hull. A thin curved glass or plastic lens designed to fit over the cornea in order to correct vision or to deliver medication. Be in or establish communication with. He never contacted his children after he emigrated to Australia. A communicative interaction. The pilot made contact with the base. Be in direct physical contact with, make contact. The wire must not contact the metal cover. A channel for communication between groups. The act of touching physically. Her fingers came in contact with the light switch. Electronics. A junction where things, as two electrical conductors, touch or are in physical contact. They forget to solder the contacts. Close interaction. They kept in daily contact. The state or condition of touching or of being in immediate proximity. Litmus paper turns red on contact with an acid. Mutual interaction. The activity of reciprocating or exchanging, especially information. An exchange of views on some topic. Light teasing repartee. Reciprocal action and reaction. The science of matter and energy and their interactions. The science of matter and energy and their interactions. His favorite subject was physics. The physical properties, phenomena, and laws of something. He studied the physics of radiation.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.